Hi guys, Mike here at MS Tutorials and welcome back to a new video. Alright guys, well I've been asked to model this set here, so chairs and a table, okay? So that's what we're going to do. Alright, well we're going to start off by, let's see what we'll do first. We'll create the seat, okay? So for the seat what we'll do is we'll take a polygon cylinder, hit W, pull that out. All right, and as you can see, it's kind of rounded in the back there, and it's straight in the front. And it's a bit too clunky, and we don't have a huge restriction as far as poly count is concerned. So I'm just going to increase this a little bit. So let's do 30 on that. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into our top view, hit F to zoom in, and we're going to right click at a face, and we're going to drag select these faces and hit delete. Okay. Then we're going to right click at object mode. We're going to hit R to push this down until it's fairly flat. We're going to right click, go to edge, double click on that entire edge, hit W to pull that out until we got, let's say, that. And then we're going to go to edit mesh and we're going to go to fill hole. Let's see, that's under mesh, yeah, fill hole. So that's closed up. Now we got all these edges going on there, and that's not really something we want, okay? So we're going to go into the top here, and we're going to right click and go to edge, and let's drag select these edges, okay? And we're going to hit Control D not Control D, yeah, Control Delete, sorry, yeah, to get rid of them. Now, right now, what we're going to get here is a huge set of n-gons, okay? Right there. And I get this question a lot, okay, you're leaving n-gons, it's a problem, so forth. N-gons are not always a problem, and I'll explain, okay? And I'm just going to take a moment here because I know I'm going to get a huge amount of emails and comments on this. So when are n-gons a problem? N-gons are a problem if you have n-gons in an object that will be animated, and in the animation will be deformed, okay? So if it's stretched out and so forth, and if the face contains n-gons, that's going to be a problem, okay? In this case, it's going to be a chair, it's going to be stationary, the seat's not going to deform, and so forth. Second reason why you want to avoid n-gons is if you're UVing and texturing this, it can create noise in your final render, okay? Now, I'm going to be texturing this in Keyshot. It's going to be a simple apply to all black surface, so not going to be a problem. Now, if you know it's not going to be a problem, then don't spend huge amounts of time on it. That said, and to be honest, it is good practice to avoid n-gons if and when you can, okay? But like I said, not going to do it right now. All right. So we got this. I'm going to go to insert edge loop, option box, multiple, we'll do 2. I'll add them in right there. And we'll zoom in a little bit, hit R, kind of pull them up a little bit. All right. Now let's do a preview smooth. So right click object mode. Probably need to do a little bit more, but we'll see. We'll hit 3. Yeah. All right. So a couple of more things we need to do here. We're going to right click at a face, select that face, and shift select that face, and go to edit mesh and extrude, hit R, and slightly scale that in, okay? So now if you right click and go to object mode and hit 3 once again, it already is a little bit better with the exception of the front. Hit 1 to go back. What we're going to do here is we are going to go to insert edge loop. Let's do one here. Hit R to push that out. That should help. Q on your keyboard. Right click object mode and 3. Much, much, much better. Okay, so now that we have that, and let's have a look at our frame here. Okay, now It's kind of unclear based on the images here whether these are round or square tubes, not 100% sure. So what we'll do is we'll kind of eyeball this, all right? So in order to do this, I will take a polygon pipe and we're going to hit E to rotate it, hold on J to snap to 90 degrees, and then rotate it again in that direction. We're going to switch to, let's see, not that view. We'll switch to this view here. Yep. We're going to go in and we're going to, let's see, set the poly count to, we'll smooth this. This is actually not too bad. The thickness to 0.3, 0.15 maybe, maybe even 0.1. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, we're going to select that. We're going to W and we're going to move that down and in. Let's have a quick look at my reference here. All right, so it's going from up there to down there. All right, cool. So it's going to start up here, let's say right here, and then the curve is going to go down to about there, okay? Which means that the diameter should be much, 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 much bigger. Let's bring that down to about there, a little bit smaller, like so. We'll do 0.05 on the thickness, which is better. That's pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna drag select these faces, get rid of them, those as well, and we'll take everything from, that's one too much, from here. All right, that is not bad. Okay, now we're gonna, we've got some stuff left here. Let's take that and just the faces. So right click face and that as well. And just clip that, sorry. There we go, okay? So first what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in, we're gonna right click, go to edge, double click on the whole thing and go to mesh and fill hole. Then we're gonna, come on. Sorry about that, guys. It's just one of those days, I guess. A lot going on. Okay, so we're gonna hit R, we're gonna push that in to make that pretty much, try to get it roughly square. Like that. Then we're going to go in to the bottom here. We're going to right click, go to edge, double click on that, edit mesh and fill hole. Sorry, mesh and fill hole. Like that. We're going to do a preview smooth. So right click object mode, hit 3 to smooth it out, which is not bad with the exception of our end sections. Now we know that these guys will hit the floor, so we have to cut them, if you will, and we'll do the same at the top. So we'll hit 1 to go back in. We'll switch to this view, and we're going to go to Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop, and let's make sure we don't have multiple selected. So we'll do one there, and let's go back to the bottom here, and that one we're going to bring way down. Okay, and the reason for that is we can now go in, right click at a face, select that face and hit delete, and then right click, go to edge and double click on it all the way around, edit mesh and extrude, hit W and bring that down. Okay, so let's have a look from, not from that view, from this view. All right, Now we want to smooth this guy out, as I said, so we're going to go to Insert Edge Loop again. And we have a little issue here. We're going to right click, go to Vertex, take these. Let's straighten that out. And then we're going to just clean that up here. Rotate that until it's straight. And do the same there. Okay. All right, so we're going to need to do a preview smooth again. Right click object mode, come on. Hit 3, and let's have a look. Now that is not bad. That is slightly different from our original. And I'm just wondering whether I want to keep that or not. Okay, we're going to want to go back. We're going to close out the bottom here. So we're going to right click and go to Edge. And go to Mesh and Fill Hole. There we go. And we have the little situation going on down there. So we're going to go to Insert Edge Loop. And we'll add one here. And we'll add one here. And that should fix that. Q on our keyboard, right click object mode, and 3. Much, much cleaner. Okay. Now this is kind of a tedious thing to do, but that's okay, I guess. So what we're going to do next is we're going to position them. So we're going to have a look from this view right here. Let's hit W to move it close to the end, but not all the way. And then we're going to hit Control D to duplicate it. And let's bring it over to this end. And I'm just going to select my image here for a second, hit Control H to hide it, so I can see the symmetry better. And I'll take my seat and bring that down just a bit. Now these two guys are still preview smooth, so I'm going to go up to Mesh and Smooth to actually smooth them, and hit Enter. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to go back to Display and Show All to get my image back. So we have that. Let's see what else. So how is this connected? We got a bar here, and that seems to be one section. So I'm going to take a small cylinder, hit W to bring that out. We're going to hit E, and we're going to rotate it in this direction until we're exactly at 90 degrees. We're going to hit R to scale that down and pull it out. Then have a look from this view. Hit W to bring that down. And there's going to be one, let's say about there. So hit R to scale that out. 4 for wireframe mode. Let's close this down. We're going to go to Insert Edge Loop, option box, multiple, and 2. We'll add 2 right there. And then hit R to pull them out to the end, like so. Q on our keyboard. And let's right click and go to object mode. Hit W. And let's see, where was that located again? Okay, so we got one there, yeah. So we're going to push that in and pull that up. So we've got one there, that makes sense. And then we're going to hit Control D to duplicate it, and we'll pull it down a little bit and push it to the back. I have to zoom in. All right, so we're gonna select these two, and we're gonna go to mesh and smooth. There we go. So that looks okay. So now we're gonna have this back section, okay? So for that, let's take a polygon, let me think, polygon plane, okay? And we'll just take our reference here for a sec, hit W, push that back, polygon plane, okay. So we're gonna hit E to rotate. We're gonna hold down J to snap it, like so. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit W, bring it forward, push it down. Now we're gonna start to scale it. It's time to move this guy over here. All right, so we got that. We're gonna hit R to scale. And we want the black section to, let's see, looks like it's hugging the back there a little bit. So we know that that's okay. And then we're gonna go and hit the insert key. So we can hit W and bring the pivot point down to the bottom, okay? So now if we hit R to scale it, it will go up. And we need to kind of choose how far we want it to go up. Okay. All right. Now we're going to bring the whole thing in a little bit. So we're going to hit W to bring it in until the bottom connects. Let's see, from this view, yeah, like so. And we want the seat to kind of hug this section here. Let's get this guy out of the way. So where is it? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so our pivot point is down there. So we can hit E and we can start to rotate that. Not everything, just this. And we're not going to do it all the way because we are going to extrude it a little bit. So, and then at that point, what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see, we are going to, oh, how are we going to do that? Good question. What we'll do there is, okay. So what we're going to do there is we're going to start to select those edges. Right click edge. Let's select all of this. And to be honest, I never encountered this before. So let's see how far I'm going to screw this up. Okay, so we're going to choose a nice angle for that. Maybe a little bit less. And then we're going to hit W and we're going to kind of move this back until we have a natural flow going on with the lower section. So that seems to be okay. Just make sure I didn't screw it up too much. Okay. And then we have these openings in the middle that we need to cut out. So we kind of need to choose where we want them. So let's do that from this view. And let's see what we got. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So right click face. We'll do 4 and 4. So we'll take these two. We'll skip a row. We'll do these two. And we're not exactly the same as the original, but it's okay, I guess. We'll do these two and these two. Okay, so let's hit delete. So we open that up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to right click at object mode, edit mesh, extrude, 0.025. Let's see how much that gives us. Nice, not too much. Good, good. And then we're going to create a little thickness around the edge there. So we're going to go to insert edge loop once again, make sure we're at single setting. We'll bring that up to roughly the top there. We'll jump in here. We'll do the same down here. And then we'll zoom in and we'll do one here and make this area roughly square. We'll do one here, same deal, and have a look down here to see if it looks okay. And it looks okay. All right. We're going to jump into our perspective view and we're going to right click at a face, select that row and that row. And that one. And that one. All right, I think I got all of them. And we're going to go to Edit Mesh and Extrude and do 0.025. All right. So that is one of our chairs. Okay. Now we're going to need a bunch of them. That's fine. Let's have a look at our table. And that looks pretty straightforward. So I'll copy the chairs in a second. I need to apply the materials, so I need to color code them. So I'll right click and go to object mode. This and this will do black leather. So I'm gonna right click, assign new material, and we'll do a Lambert and just give it a color. And it doesn't really matter. We'll do yellow. And then we'll take our frame with all the sections here. And let's right click, assign new material. And we'll do another Lambert. Let's do green. Come on, green. Okay. All right. So now that we have that, let's see if we need to add any small detail and make sure we have everything properly smooth. So I'm going to drag select the whole thing, hit 1 to kind of unsmooth and see if we got any weird stuff going on. Now obviously our frame needs to be smoothed out, so we're going to deselect this guy and all of that will go to mesh and smooth to actually smooth it. Okay, now I'm wondering whether we should put some rubber parts below the chair there and whether this will be sufficient, okay? Because it kind of looks a little bit off and I don't have enough detail here to see how that's structured, and actually it looks like we did it okay. So it is what it is, all right? Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, the chair is done. We're gonna go with a table right now, so that will be pretty quick. I'm gonna create a cube, hit W, pull that out, R to scale out, and push that way in. And now let's kind of eyeball that as far as dimensions are concerned. So let's do 3 chairs at each end, let's say. So we'll have an eyeball from the top here. W to move that in to about there. Start to scale that. And let's say that direction there. Maybe like so. W to move it over. All right. We're going to drag select our chair and deselect our table. We're going to go to Mesh, Combine, Modify Center Pivot, Control D to duplicate. Let's pull that over. And let's do Shift D to repeat that. We'll take our table, bring that in. Let's make our table a little bit bigger, okay? So let's scale that up a little. Hit W to pull it out, like so. Bring it in just a bit. All right. Then we're going to take our chairs again, deselect that, go to Mesh and Combine, modify center pivot, Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold down J to snap until we're at 90 degrees, and then hit W and move them down right there. Okay, let's check our height, see how we're doing here. Let's take our tabletop and we'll do that, let's say about there. And then we need some legs for our table. So for that, what we'll do is we'll take a polygon cylinder, hit W, pull that out, and we're going to hit R to scale that up, like so. Then scale it back in dimension. From a top view, hit 4 for wireframe mode, and W so we can kind of move that in. All right, F to zoom in, okay. And that's going to need to be smoothed a bit. But as far as position is concerned, that looks okay. So let's deal with that first. We're going to go into this view. Oh, that's a bit thick. Hit R, bring that down, and then bring that out. Top section's fine. Right-click vertex, drags like that. Hit W and bring that down until it's equal to the chairs. All right. We're going to go with insert edge loop again and multiple. So do 2. We're going to hit R to scale them up. So we can now smooth them out if we like. Right click, come on, right click object mode. Come on. Right click object mode. Let's add a little detail here just so it's not too plain. We'll do a normal insert edge loop again, and we'll add that to the top right there. Okay, hit Q on our keyboard. We're going to right click at a face, and we're going to select these faces, and let's right click assign new material, Lambert. Let's do red. Guess that's fine. Another color for our tabletop here. Assign new material, Lambert, and blue. Doesn't really matter. And the only thing we need to do now is copy over our leg. So from our top view, Control D to duplicate, hit W, bring that down. Now let's try and get some equal spacing here. So what we'll do here is we'll bring it onto that line right there. No. Let's see. Just looking at how far that should come out. We'll have it equal with how our chairs are positioned. Okay. So then I'm going to select them both. So 1 and 2. Control D to duplicate, W to move over, and we'll move them to right there. Okay. So that should be our set ready to go for Keyshot. Okay. So we're going to take this guy, we're going to delete it. I'm going to close this. And from this view, I'm going to select the whole thing. And we're going to go to Edit, Delete by Type, History, and File, Export Selection. And we'll call it Table Set FBX. Let's save that on our desktop. There we go. And now let's jump over to Keyshot and start texturing. Hang on. Right, guys, here we are. We're going to go up to File. We're going to go to Import. And there you go. There's my table set. Use the defaults and import it. And there you go. Well, let's have a look. So we want our tabletop to be glass, obviously. So we're going to go into Materials. We're going to go to, let's see, where do you go? Glass. And we're going to go with, let's see, we can try all sorts. Let's see, we've got frosted glass. Let's just put that on for now. Kind of cool. We're going to go with black leather for our seats and so forth. So cloth and leather. I'm going to go to leather. We're going to go to basic and let's use black. So drag that in. Very nice. And the only thing we need to do in a second is kind of see how that, whether the scale of the leather is okay, which is kind of hard to see from here, but it looks okay. Let's double click on it. I'm going to go to textures and I'm going to go to mapping tool and I'm going to turn these off because I just want to simply scale it. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay. Let's see if I can have a look from here. Okay, I'm going to bring the scale way, way down because I want a nice detailed leather texture going on here. That's much better. Okay. All right. Cool. So let's see what else on our bump. Let's see if we can change that here. Okay, bump height. Still on this guy, right? Let's check. Yeah. Yeah, nice. All right. Okay, once you zoom in quite uh, close, you can see it very well. All right, cool. So we got that. Now I want the legs and so forth to be nice and shiny, obviously. So we're gonna go with, let's see, chrome. I'm gonna use a basic chrome, polished. There you go, on our legs and so forth. And on these guys as well. Okay. And quite a lot of reflection going on here, so we'll deal with that in a bit. And we have these sections on top, which are rubber cushions, if you will, to protect our glass. So we're going to go to plastic. We're going to go down to soft plastic, rubber. And we're going to take that, select that, and bring that in onto that surface right there. Okay. Now, before we deal with a tabletop and so forth, let's kind of set things up a little bit. So I'm going to go to my background, studio background, and let's scroll down and go to white solid and drag that in. I'm not quite sure whether we should add some color or not. So we're going to go to our environment and let's take this conference room lighting setup, which kind of gives that brown reflection in the legs, as you can see right here. And I want to give it a go and use some transparent glass for the tabletop. So let's see, where did we go? Clear glass, basic, actually do refractive. Let's see how that makes things different. That is pretty cool. All right. So that's pretty nice. As far as the seats are concerned, yeah, I guess this is pretty much it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of change the color of my floor, I think. All right. So I'm going to go to my environment. I always have to look where that is. I think it's here under environment. And I'm going to use a color instead. Yeah, okay, that's what I was looking for. Okay, so let's find a color that kind of fits this whole setup here. Let's do something a bit more towards, yeah, maybe orange. Okay, now scale wise, it kind of needs to make sense. So let's kind of set that up like that. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to lighting. We're going to select full simulation and let's tweak that. We're then going to go back in and we're going to turn off interior mode, which makes that pop a little bit better. And let's see what else. It's not bad. Let's see what we can do with this color. I'm not too pleased with that. This is kind of a little bit better. Let's just try one more thing here. Let's just see if that lighting helps. I guess this is a nice warm color, so we'll go with that. All right. Let's look at our render angle. What I notice here is that we have a little bit of a scaling issue. So I'm going to select the entire set, and then I'm going to go to position, snap to ground to start with, which works better for our shadows. And then, let me see, move tool, and I'm going to have the scale selected there. And I'm going to start to make this a hell of a lot bigger. Hopefully I didn't freak out the system here. It's lagging like crazy. Okay, skill wise, good, almost there. What I don't like though is that the leather is a little bit too rough. Okay, so I'm gonna double click on my leather. I'm gonna go and change this to, let's see, thought we had the advanced here, but apparently not. So we'll just leave that. So I'm gonna double click on my bump and let's bring that down a bit. Maybe quite a bit. Hang on, I got a negative value going on here. We'll do 0.2, 0.05 maybe. All right, that works. Okay, so let's give this a render. Okay, let's check the settings one more time. Okay, I just want to make this look right. All right, so good. All right, I'm going to go to render. I'm going to go to my render settings, and I'll call this table set. I'll save it out as a JPEG in 1280 by 714. And let's see, 300 DPI is fine. I'll pause the video, hit render. See you guys in a bit. Hi guys, I'm back. Well, To be honest, I didn't really like what was coming out of the render, so I can't help it. I just have to tweak a few things. All right. So what we're going to do here is, first of all, we're going to look at the background setup here. Okay. So as far as lighting is concerned, so I'm going to go to my, let's see, where do you go? Environment. I'm going to go to my studio. I'm going to go to, where do you go? To I'm looking for, come on, come on, come on. I'm looking for, there you go, panels. All right. And I'm going to use overhead panels. Now, reason being, I was looking at this render and you got all this room reflection going on in the glass where obviously it's not sitting in a room. So, it just looks off, right? So let's see which one suits best. That one could work for us if we kind of change that angle a little bit. Let's see what else we got. That's obviously way too dark. Let's do this. A little bit better. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Maybe this one. Nope, we'll do that one. Okay. Yep, that's good. Yeah, sorry guys. I just, I can't stand it when it comes out and it doesn't look right and so forth. All right. So we'll just prep that angle once more and we'll do a render and I promise you I won't go back in and change stuff again. Okay. So here we go. I'll pause the video. See you guys in a minute. Well, guys, there you have it. There's our final render for our dining table set. And yeah, I think it turned out okay. So feel free to tweak it as you like. And yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy the tutorial. Okay, so that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'd love to see you guys again. Bye.